Wow.
Use that one, which weren't treated for 8 weeks, which caused an acute injury. Mine was an acute injury. So when they put me on dialysis, they thought by blasting me with dialysis for 6 weeks, it would restart the kidney up. But unfortunately, it had gone too far and it didn't restart. So I was unlucky because it could have restarted. But at the same time, I've been blessed. So, and it changed me as a person, for the better. Do you know what I mean? It changed me for the better, I feel.
Okay, so welcome, guys. This is episode 14 of the Fantom podcast. Today, we're joined with Jay-Z Bodybuilding. Joe, thanks for coming back on again. Zach, welcome back.
Thank
Zach's
you.
just been back from Spain. Did you have a good time?
Yes,
nice and brown.
I've been topping my tan up, trying to catch up to you, Simon.
Yeah, and special guests, we got big Daz Ball.
Yes,
Daz, welcome to the Fantom podcast. Good to see you.
Yeah, great.
Welcome
Great
back,
to have a chat with you boys.
Yeah, it's been how long? When was the last time you seen Zach?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Going back 2012, it's got to have been.
It's been a while, hasn't it, guys? It's been a while.
It's been a while, long
10 years.
Long time. I've been off the scene for a long time now. Do you know what I mean? So a long time. It's good to catch up with a few people again. Do a few more shows next year and hopefully catch up with some more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know. I seen you compete Sunday, Daz. And how do you feel? You still dieting, or you finished now?
The prep was just the 5. That was just 5 weeks. I've not prepped for a bodybuilding show for a long time. I got married about 7 or 8 weeks ago. Got married. We had a chat after the wedding, me and the wife, and we decided the last 5 weeks to do a prep and see how we go and do a show. And that's all we did.
For everyone in the audience, Daz did the GBO. It was the CMP Classic, wasn't it, in Leicester this weekend, just gone last Sunday, and you did was it over 40s? Class?
No, I did
the pro show, didn't you?
Pro show,
the pro show. That's right.
Over 40s last time, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you did my show back in June. You won the over 40s, didn't you?
Yeah,
won the over 40. Yeah, and then you did the bodybuilding. You got second, and you came second in the pro class. So what was it there like to get back on stage again after?
Great, mate. I really enjoyed it. A long time being off stage and a long time doing other things. And to be fair, it's just come back. So the little ones, the twins, the 4 now, they wanted me to do it. So I did the one at your show.
Yeah.
And just go back on stage, let them come see the dad compete and mix it with the older boys. Hopefully, see a few people more off the scene who are competing still. You know what I mean?
Was this a new federation or something? Organization?
Yeah, it's so we did the MF UK was
it's the federation GBO. It's an American federation, but we have an affiliation in UK with Suki, who runs NMF UK. Yeah. So the shows are quite busy actually. I think they have 4 or 5 a year around Leicester way in Birmingham. But we had our own Ultimate Fitness show back in June. But they were really busy shows. They're bodybuilding, obviously the men's physique, the female classes.
Yeah, like I've seen on Instagram some people competing at them. It's something I'm new to, so I didn't know what organization it was. So I just seen some people competing, and the standard look good. You know what I mean? Look really good.
Standard was very good, especially the pro class.
Busy show as well, really. The Leicester show the weekend was busy, wasn't it? Fair. So like I say, it's just nice to be up there and back on the stage and still doing what I enjoy doing. Do you know what I mean?
Have you still got the gym, Daz?
Have I still got
the gym?
I've still got the gym. Yeah. You've been over there a few times, haven't you?
Yeah. Still got that gym, yeah.
Yeah, still got the gym there. Still got it going, yeah.
I was trying to think back. Did we go there with Brandon Curry back in 2010?
Brandon was there. Branch was there as well. Yeah, both of them was there.
Yeah, that's about 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah, back 2000.
That's when he was at BSN, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's when he was at BSN, and Branch was 2010, 11. I think that was as well. That was going back a few years as well.
Did Branch Warren come as well? Did he?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Yeah, Branch was at my gym last month.
Was he over there? Yeah.
Yeah, he was over for the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, to be fair, it was great having Branch over and just like I said, mixing with the pros. Back then as well, when you're new pro or just about to get on that scene yourself, it was good to mix with them and listen to what they're saying, because they're guys that I used to watch in the videos, you know what I mean?
Have you trained with Branch, Zach?
No, I'm not trained with Branch at all. No, never. Probably tear a fucking muscle. Fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
He likes to keep it. He's not too worried about squeezing and that, as he Branch. He just likes to throw them weights about.
Well, it works for him, doesn't it?
The thing about it is,
whatever works for you, ain't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It works for him. So who can deny anything?
No, it worked for him. Do you know what I mean?
It got him up to second in Olympia, and he won the Arnold Classic.
Yeah.
So he can't deny it. You know what I mean?
I think he uses the single arm cable pull downs.
That's the problem now. Like, what I see now on Instagram a lot is now everybody doing the single arm cable, squeezing them like one arm at a time.
Yeah, 20-second negative
stuff. It's like, I don't know, man. Fucking, I think now with social media, it's good for the sport, and it's bad for the sport, depending who you follow. So if you're following these influencers who have got no credentials, then you're gonna be following bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And people don't want to see old school training anymore. You know what I mean? Like look at Dorian. He didn't change his back workout. Like he was saying, he never changed his back workout while he was winning the Olympia. He goes, why did I need to?
Fucking worked, didn't it?
If it works, you carry on doing it. And
you know why, Zach? Because he only had 3 machines at Temple Gym. That's why. Because he was too tight to buy anything else.
Yeah, but it just shows you that you can build an Olympian physique with a gym like that. With a gym like what you've got, Daz. You've got old school gym, ain't you?
Old school gym, yeah, old school. And the thing is, he did it here as well, didn't he? You know what I mean? He didn't go over to America, but he did it here. So, fair play for what he did. And unbelievable physique, though, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
So, what are your plans going forward? Does next year going to do some more shows?
I'd like to. To be honest, I've not done bodybuilding for a while. It's just been fitness, health, and stuff. So, try to add a bit more muscle now, which I did for this show. Add a bit more muscle for next year. Come back, do a few over 40s, and then a couple of the GBO Pro and whatever it takes. I'd like to win again, it's just for the kids really to win some trophies, have the day out, have a laugh with them. Do you know what I mean? It's it's just a hobby now. So
but it's good. It's good for your gym as well, for your members as well, everything. So
you know what? It's good to go out and see people, who still say, "Oh, Daz, I was watching you. I was looking up to you when you was on the scene and that, and giving a bit back and giving them some advice and trying to help them out in that way." You know what I mean? It's still
exactly, especially when
bodybuilding. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you got a gym yourself, Daz, and people look up to you, and then you're leading the way as well, and you're motivating other people to get healthy, fit, and you can tell people from your mistakes what to do and what not to do, and that's
obviously,
that's
the thing. You can give back.
Answer me this: do you find members in your gym rather go pay someone else who's never competed before?
That's
more followers on Instagram. Someone who's won the British like you.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of the Leicester people go to different people. They don't want to come and do.
Someone who's been there and done it.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, they don't actually like to train hard, do they? Often people, they don't want to get dirty and dieting. They don't want to train hard. So, and they don't want to hear. At the end of the day, you have to tell people the truth. I can't blow smoke up your ass. If you're not looking good, I've got to tell you you're not looking good. And some people don't like that as well, do they?
They'd rather pay someone to sort of give them, a diet and gear or whatever to sort of skip around the hard work.
Yeah, and then not tell them if they're looking right. Do you understand what I mean? At the end of the day, I ain't going to lie to people. If they're not looking right, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them they have to put their ideas up. And some people don't like that, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So they won't come to me. And a lot of people that come to me don't like the hard work. They don't really want to do it.
Do you find that as well, Zach? People rather not come to you.
The problem is, like I said to you, is we live in a fucking, society where there's too many yes men around these people, And then if somebody like Daz or me or you or ourselves says, listen, no, that ain't good enough, you know what I mean? You know, and they think you're jealous of them, and that's the problem you've got. But you know, you're being honest, and honesty doesn't get you far in this game, because you have to be a bullshitter. You know, everything's about on Instagram. It's like, how many times do you see yourself, man? These bodybuilders coming into shows, they look amazing, they look like they're shredded, and they're all using different filters, making themselves look more grainy and stuff like that. Then they stand up on stage, and they can't take the filter with them, and they look fucking smooth, you know? And that's the problem. I always tell people, listen, if you're prepping for a show, the worst thing you can do is follow your competition on Instagram, because it's going to be a head fuck. And in our time, we were lucky because, you know, when I competed with Daz, Alvin Small, Stuart Core, and these guys, we never even saw each other until our qualified show for the finals, you know? And
I remember 207, I had a picture of Zack on my fridge at home. All year from 206, thinking, I'm fucking going to come after him this year. From 206, I was 16th. I was placed 16th. And I knew Zack was the man. So that's what inspired me all year. That picture, no looking on, with none of that shit there. You didn't look for no one. You just got on with your work. And I just hope that both of us were our best on the day.
Yeah. What was the first year you two competed against each other? Was it 2007?
Mansfield, 2005, I think it was, or something like that. There.
Both in the heavyweights.
Daz was, like, I was there around the top range all the time. He came out of fucking nowhere. He put on about 4 stone in 1 year. I remember seeing him at a qualifying show, walking around. I was like, what the fuck has he done? His forearms there, fucking vascular. I remember he just came out of the toilets, and my mate goes, man, you seen Daz? I mean, where? He goes, that's him. And I just saw this fucking big juggernaut. And I was like, I went, that's not him. He goes, no, that's Daz. I mean, fuck.
Super sized.
I had to have a second look. And I was like, I mean, my God, I need to get my work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, that year was crazy. Then I did the qualifier in Portsmouth.
Was it 2000? Was that 2008? Was it?
No, Portsmouth was 2007.
Was it?
Like whatever you did in that 1 year, man, fucking, he put on so much. Like he was a different human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like that year, the mass went on. You know what I was doing was working. But the biggest thing for me that year was the end of 2006 when we did the British. I played 16th. I'd over-dieted, there's no doubt about it, but I lost a bit more muscle than
who won it that year, 2006?
2006, Troy Brown, was it? No.
Oh yeah, he won the overall as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think it was Troy that year.
Yeah, he won the overall.
You were second, weren't you, Zack?
Yeah, 2005 with Paul Della here before that. So
2005, Paul Day. 2006, Troy you second. 2007, then that was for my year. But that like I say, that year all I focused on was Zack, because I always remember whoever was second usually won it the following year, didn't he? It was a bit. It was like that, weren't it? It was like that. So for me, I had to focus on Zack and try to bring some muscle mass to the stage. That's all I thought about all year. But the biggest thing for me, when I was leaving that year in Nottingham, was going to bed that night. My mum and my dad, my brother, they all gave me shit saying, why don't you go back playing football? You're never going to do no good at this. And my daughter was 1. And I says, listen, I swear on life, I'll win the show next year. I went back to my room that night, sat up all night, wrote a program out, got up, was awake. So I had some food, 6 o'clock, found a gym in Nottingham at 7 and went and trained for the first day. And basically that year, that's all I focused on. Picture of Zack on the fridge, getting up every morning. When I was tired, looking at that, thinking, I'm doing the fucker. But when that desire is like that, I'm unbeatable.
To train for, isn't it?
I'm not going to let nothing stand in my way, and that's what I did that year. Let nothing stand in my way.
And that's the crazy thing about it is, it's like, for me, like I was so close and I was getting second all the time. Do you know what I mean? Compared to you were coming and I was getting second all the time, and it was like, and people said to me like, what kept you going? I go to them because I knew that I fucking haven't seen the best of me. You know what I mean? Either you saw 1 year me coming in really massive but not conditioned, or over dieted and not massive, And then, you know, obviously, the year when I worked with Neil, I got that balance right. Even then, I lost a bit too much size, but I did the job what needed to be done. You know what I mean? To win the job.
Took it.
And that's what it was. But, you know, the rivalries were crazy them years, man. Your family fucking in the audience, my mates in fucking audience, fucking arguing with each other.
Well, you had like five or six guys in the top six, which could have won it in a year, couldn't you? You had Alvin, Stewart, Geraldos, obviously yourselves,
Dave Titterton,
yeah. I think
Rowdus was a great physique. You remember Rowdus?
He was phenomenal, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying there was some great guys in that era. You know, there was some good battles on the side. You know, I still believe my biggest thing was I did wrong over the years after was listening to the feedback from the judges, and that's not being funny to the judges or nothing. One year they'd say you need to come in, lose some size, do that. I should have just carried on doing what I was doing, and then I was fucking my body around so much trying to get what they wanted. That then when you did it, they went a different way with things. You know what I mean? So that was the biggest mistake. I should have just stuck to what I was doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why. Like, I remember speaking to the judges once. I would ask one judge something, and the next judge would tell me something different, and I just said, you know what? Fuck these guys. Yeah. I'm just gonna try to bring in my best package.
The best package yourself, yeah.
Yeah, like trying to keep us.
Do you remember when the down marked us for going into the crowd?
Yeah.
We were talking about that the other week, weren't we? when Zack jumped off into the audience.
Yeah, we just what was wrong with that? The audience loved it as well, didn't they?
I know the marked us down, like, for fuck's sake, like.
Was that 2008?
You try to entertain them. People are paying their money. We ain't going on stage if them people ain't paying them.
But you're not marked for the pose down anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
I know. It's like
they do it at the Olympia.
Yeah, we started the trend. That's what was up, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not saying this, but there were some fucking good years, man. Good rivalry years.
Oh, mate, them years, yeah, they really were.
I don't think at the time you realised.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, you don't realise at the time they were the sort of the best years of bodybuilding for UK. I mean, there's no British anymore. You go to the UKBFF, and the shows are absolutely dead, and it is sad. I mean, I'm going to the British this Sunday, the UKBFF, and it's in a little town hall in Bilston, and they're qualified back in June. Had 12 competitors in the whole show, and it's sad, man.
It's died.
Sad to see.
It's like it's gone from one extreme to the other. Like it's gone from like, you know, one pro card guys when we used to be around there.
That's it.
To now like 20, 30 pro cards a year. You know
just give them away, don't they, now? It's like a fucking lucky bag.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just a different era now, isn't it, man? You know what I mean?
I was talking to Joe earlier about these kids that have got their pro cards early, and they've done one season. And they're not placed in a pro show in America, and they've given up bodybuilding now, haven't they, Joe?
Yeah, they've gone to lifestyle training, and it's because we'll be sending with that they're doing it for the wrong reasons, and they're using it as a business tool, you know, to then push themselves as a fucking entrepreneur on social media and con people out the money. Like, you know, they're not doing it for the
bodybuilding for training, do they?
They all become what, gurus? Is that what that's the thing?
After not placing,
everyone's a fucking guru nowadays, ain't there? Jesus Christ! I've never seen so many gurus on the fucking internet. Honestly, wow, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Man, there's more fucking gurus than fucking competitors nowadays.
That's what I'm saying to you. Hey, everyone's got a guru with them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the thing.
Listen, for me, the 2 times I won it, 2.7, 2.12. The Arnold in 2.13, I did that on my own. When I had people working me, it didn't work. That's the truth. We know our body the best. I still believe you know your body the best.
The problem is no coach is going to be able to tell you exactly like how you feel on food. You know what? So you know when somebody gives you a diet and says to you, this is what you need to eat. And you know exactly what you need to eat because that's what you do off season. So why are you going to change them foods for a coach? You know what I mean? Oh, but you need to get all these type of different foods in and get these different variables in. And then all of a sudden, this coach starts making everything more complicated. And your body's taking time to, utilize all this new nutrition. And, because everything's different for your body. Everything's new. So your digestive system is working different. So your body's going to react different. And then, you know what I mean? And the normal drugs what you used to take in there and were working, then all of a sudden everything's changing with the drugs now as well. Like, you know, so there's too many variables.
How many people mess it up in the last week by changing all the foods they've been eating all the way through the prep to fucking
around
for a week.
You know the thing about it is, you know, we all do a fucking diet and we're happy everything's going smooth, but all of a sudden we get this bright fucking idea in our head, don't we? You know, like
to change everything.
Oh, I should try this because I've read it somewhere or I've seen somebody talk about it.
So and so's doing it.
Yeah, and then you think, oh, I should try it, and then you try it, and then you're like going thinking, why the fuck did I try that? You know what I mean?
You blow 16 weeks of dieting.
Yeah, and you wasted and you fucked everything up because of that. The worst thing you can do is, you know, last week from a show and stuff like that, stay away from fucking internet and social media. You know what I mean? Just stick in your fucking bubble and just watch fucking Netflix. Stay away from bodybuilding at all and just follow that fucking plan. What you said you're gonna do, follow it to the end. The problem is, what happens is we start a plan here from 14 weeks out, 12 weeks out, whatever, and everything's going great. But suddenly we start reaching 4 weeks out, then we start getting stupid ideas into our head. You know what I mean?
You start asking random people for advice in the gym that you never even would ask in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone wants to give their 2 pennies worth.
Sorry. Yeah. And they're not even experts or anything, and they don't know your fucking body. You know what I'm saying? No. And that's right, Daz. You know your fucking body, so just fucking do what you need to do. And that's what I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it. That's all you have to do. Stick with what you know. You know your body the best. You know when you have if you are doing cheat meals, you put cheat meal in, you know how your body changes. You know what it looks like on Monday.
Exactly.
You know what it looks like on Tuesday. You see yourself all the time. Exactly. You don't need someone else to tell you that. Do you understand what I mean? But nowadays, I don't know, it's the him thing. If you're with him, you're going to win. If you're going to be him, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Personally, like I say, I got my best results when I went on my own.
Yeah. And also, do you think people, because they don't give themselves enough time to sort of learn their bodies, they just want to get a coach straight away? Yeah. Obviously, you guys trained many years before you got thought about getting a coach, or
the thing was,
you know, it works, didn't you?
But you think that's the enjoyment factor?
We couldn't afford a fucking coach. We couldn't afford a coach. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't afford a fucking coach.
No one had a coach back then, really, did they?
No. That's like, I've been obviously training a lot less over time than all you guys, and you guys are fucking legends of the industry. You know, it's a pleasure being around Sai and everyone who's been and done it and reached, you know, the pinnacle or their pinnacle or whatnot. But, you know, because I'm surrounded by people who've been there and done it themselves, it shows you how stupid the majority of the modern industry is, because they preach that you should get a coach as soon as you start because it'll save you time and energy and wasting time and energy of learning your body and learning mistakes. But that's the fun part. You know, you go back 7 years when I was first getting interested in this, you know, that was the fucking fun part, you know, finding out what foods I digest well, finding out what training style I react the best to.
Making your own mistakes.
Yeah, that's how you learn, right? You don't learn by getting everything right, you know.
No, that's what I mean. It's like, you know, obviously, like Daz will tell you as well, and I will tell you, like, we watch videos of Dorian, we watch videos of Ronnie Coleman, Kevin Lebron, and you know, we mimicked what they did, we mimicked what they ate, and that was the fun bit. That was the fun bit. And then it gets to a point where, you know what, you ask yourself, and you go, yeah, I want to compete now. This is what I want to do, you know, and that's where the next step comes in. And that's where, you know, somebody like Daz or myself or Simon will say to you, listen, you need to train like this, you know what I mean? And get somebody to look at your training. And then, you know, look at your food and everything. Learn to fucking cook. I always said that to people. Learn to cook. Don't get your wife to be cooking your meals for you, your mum to make your meals for you. Because what will happen is in your prep, one day, you'll have a bus stop and your wife or your mum's going to say, fuck off, make your own meal. You know what I'm saying? Simple. So if you know how to cook, you're relying on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you're accountable to yourself then, nobody else. You can't blame anybody else, your mum or your partner, saying, oh, it's because of you, I didn't win the show, because of the, you know what I mean? You can't blame nobody. If you burnt your chicken, eat that fucking chicken, because there's no other chicken to eat.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know what I'm saying?
True. I remember going and training with Zack, and Zack was like, why do you eat that plain food? Do you remember? You said to me, this is what we fucking like do. Why don't you have something on it? I just cook my food, plain rice, plain chicken, plain green beans, whatever, and eat the fucking plain. And he was the first one who said, put some fucking curry on that or something and make it nice. You've got to eat all that food. How can you eat it like that? I just did it, and that was the first time. Then after that, I started seasoning my food and doing stuff. It made the food even better. It made it even easier. Because one definite thing.
Yeah, because I saw him. I saw this fucker. He's like a fucking machine. and he says to me, he goes, what? He goes, I go, mate, off season, I fucking put. I go, it's like you're dieting all fucking year round. I couldn't fucking believe he ate like that. But you know what? The proof is in the fucking.
Daz, was he always lean off season as well?
Yeah, you fucking.
When I used to do them guest poses back in the day, I never dieted for any of them. That was just the way I was.
Was that just from eating clean?
You know, when I look back, I've got guest posts. I've got shots of guest posts when I was 20 stone 8 pounds, and that's
probably leaning the most guys on
stage now.
Yeah.
In that condition, I was in that condition at 20 stone 8 pounds. But again, it's because for me, sometimes, like you say, you should bring what you think, but you're listening to judges and people around you. You start trying to bring what the judges want. But the thing was, when we was competing in America, they wanted size. That's why we was going for size. Yeah. We wanted to be like Ronnie Coleman and fucking Branch Warren and these guys. So we would go in size, but we was getting told by our own federation, you need to downside your waist. Zack, when he come out in 2000, which year was it? 2008 when you was massive, or 9?
Yeah.
8, weren't it? And then you won it in 9.
Yeah.
He was absolutely fucking massive, weren't he, when he come on stage?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Some people could say could have been a bit better condition, but the amount of muscle the man carried on the stage.
He could have been on the Olympia stage on that.
That's what I'm saying to you. And what I'm saying to you is he didn't get the right judging for that. I think he finished 4th.
Yeah. But the thing about it, Daz, could you imagine if you came out your best fucking that year and I came out my best and Alvin came out, could you imagine that fucking year what it would have been like?
Yeah, what would he have done?
But the thing was we was in that era of Ronnie Coleman being Mr. Olympia. So we weren't
all
thinking about
muscle.
So all it was about was eating, putting that fucking size on. And that's what it was all about. And we had to train old school.
207 when I won that, and then I did the overall. And listen, controversial or not, Flex won. I felt it was controversial, even though I weren't worried because all I wanted to do is win the heavyweights. But in my eyes, when we stood next to each other, it was like someone with lots of muscle against someone with not that much muscle. The shape was probably better, but actual muscle and condition that day on the stage, I thought I was going to win that overall, and they gave it Flex.
Flex was still a bit light in the upper body, wasn't he, that time?
Yeah, he was like 190. I was like 270, you know. And when I stood next to him, it looked like a man versus a boy.
Yeah.
And you know, my whole thing about the bodybuilding back then, Ronnie and them, he won because he carried so much size with condition. You understand what I mean? You know, in the as Ronnie got bigger and bigger, his shape weren't the greatest, was it?
No.
His shape wasn't great. He just carried the most fucking muscle mass. It's a bodybuilding stone. Who carries the most muscle? You know, with condition, that's how I judged it for myself. So I go on there, bringing as much muscle and as much condition as I can. And that's what I thought bodybuilding was about then. And that's when I thought it was the best era, personally. You know what I
mean? No, you're right.
And look, you've gone back to it now because the Mr. Olympia now is just pure mass.
Freaks, isn't it?
That's what I mean. It's a freak again, ain't it? You know, Big Ram is a freak. He's massive.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, and then you had the little area in between. Sean Roden won. Do you know what I mean? Shape again. You know, you had the bit where Jay won and then they brought Shape in and Dexter beat him, didn't they? 208. So, the criteria change.
We had that little break, didn't we? Like, after Phil, we got Sean Roden, and Sean Roden, we got Brandon Curry. And then Ramy came back again, and now it's gone back to that size again. You know what I mean? And like we've got quite a few British guys now up there as well, so which is good. You know what I mean? To see it also. So this year's Olympia is going to be really stacked, Daz. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what do you think?
You've got the other guy, the young American who's old school. How we were, Nick Walker. I think the guy's fucking huge guy, loads of muscle, great condition. Do you know what I mean? Another guy who'll be Mr. Olympia for me in the next couple of years. I think Nick will.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
I've got him quite high this year.
Similar to what yours was before. You know what I mean? Just,
the grainy, vascular physique. Yeah.
I think Nick will push everyone. I think he'll push them this year. He'll be there this year. I think top 3 I do for Nick.
Yeah, I said top 2 this year.
Yeah, I think he'll push them, man. He's got a great physique. I like it. I like Nick. I think he's going to be the new Mr. Olympia after Ramy, and I think he'll be freaking again. You know, he's got a freak of physique.
He's got time on his hands. He's got time.
Yeah, what is he, 27, 28?
Yeah, he's
26.
got
26.
Yeah, 26.
Is that what he is, man?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's got plenty of time on his side. He's going to be the new freak for me. But you look at the British guy, Samson, he looks fucking amazing. The extra muscle he's put on, he's filled his physique out amazingly. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it'd be an interesting year, definitely. Personally, I'd like to see Nick win it. I would. That'd be my one for winning it. But I still think looking at photos of Big Ramy, if their photos are right with how much muscle he seems to, and if he comes in with all that muscle, you know, it's like you say, you can see photos 3 weeks out and he looks massive, looks bigger than last year, and then he overdoes it with water loss or whatever, don't fill it up enough, and then he don't look right. But Nick seems to hit it. I've seen his shows. He hits it right nearly every time.
Yeah. He's never coming off, has he, Nick? He's always coming hard.
He's never. You know, even in his off season, he's 290, 300 pounds in good shape.
Yeah, always. Yeah, he's in good nick all the time.
Yeah, he's always in good nick.
Yeah.
So what you got for the win? And who you got? Big Ramy still or?
Yeah, Ramy's favorite, isn't he? But like, you know, from looking at the pictures and the momentum he's got, he's gonna be favorite, isn't it? For him.
And his new supplement company.
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
I'm going to have Nick to shock him. I think Nick will shock him.
Put it this way, I'll tell you one thing. Ramy has to come on point. If he doesn't come on point, he's gone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
think so. I think if he slacks slightly on his conditioning,
there's too many guys on his case in there, on his heels this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think what it is, it'd be interesting when you see him and Nick stand next to each, because Nick gets that granite rock hard look. And he's slightly off with the amount of muscle he carries. I think he takes him, I do.
You know, the problem you've got with the Mr. Olympia is like this, guys. You know, people always say, oh, he's not a good ambassador and everything. You know yourself, and everybody who wins the Mr. Olympia, they go and chill then, don't they? They don't want to travel. They don't want to do nothing because they got that pressure of winning Mr. Olympia. I think to myself, everybody every year should re-qualify again. Simple.
Yeah.
So you know, like the World Cup.
Even Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, like the World Cup, you don't see the defending champions of the World Cup having a bypass to the finals. You know what I mean? So
it makes them work and qualify again.
So that way, people can see the Mr. Olympia more than once on stage in the year. You know, and that way it puts pressure on the person as well. Like everybody's on the same boat. Nobody gets the bypass to the Olympia. Everybody starts from zero again and works the way to it. You know what I mean? Like we did for the British. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simple. Yeah. It's like if you didn't win the overall, you come back.
Yeah, you come back. That's it. You didn't get your pro card.
That's what I mean. Like you won your class in the overall. You won your class in the super heavies, but you didn't win the overall, and you're expected to win your class again next year, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
And I think that's the only way they're going to make the Mr. Olympia be an ambassador is to stop. Instead of winning it and saying, you know what, you're there next year now, you don't need to do another show. It's not working, is it?
I think Hadi was overlooked last year. I do that. I thought he had a great physique. I like Hadi's physique. You know what I mean? He reminds me of like you know, when you go back to the eras where you had Ronnie, you had Sean Ray. He's like a Sean Ray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously carries a lot of muscle though.
Yeah.
Sean was more
polished,
pleasing. You know what I mean? Pleasing
aesthetic.
aesthetically pleasing physique, but
Yeah.
I like him. He comes in.
Is it true? Haddy's out the Olympia this year. Is it true?
He's not in the Olympia.
Yeah, I've heard he's because you know his manager or his agent sorts out all his visa. So he's had a big fallout with his manager.
Oh shit!
So he can't get his visa for this year's Olympia. So there was a video that he's out the Olympia.
I think that might change the way they look at placing that top 6 in.
Definitely.
Definitely top 3, top 4, isn't he?
You know, it's fucking sad, isn't it? You know, like with political shit, what's going on in the world.
Professional sport at the end of the day. Politics should not play a role in any sport.
No.
Yeah. I think, me personally, they should move the Mr. Olympia around to different countries like they used to do before. You know what I mean? So that way, all the fans of all the world get to see the Mr. Olympia in different countries. You know, like half of the people can't travel to America, Vegas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and with how much money Dubai's got, I'm surprised. You know, they don't want to hold it there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You get all the boxing there now, don't they, as well?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Money talks.
Yeah, I think it'll go to Dubai in a couple of years, I reckon.
Yeah.
If not the Olympia, it will be a big show, like a big money show as well. Yeah. And then the Olympia will have either no point, but they'll have to increase the prize money or move it over there. You know, so.
Yeah, but the problem is, like you said, the athletes don't get the money what they deserve. You know what I mean? And that's a fact of the matter. We do it because we love what we do.
Yeah.
We never did it for the money. You know what I mean? And
how many times have you competed and you've been out of pocket by the end of the prep? You've been thousands down. You know what I mean?
And people nowadays are like, oh, what's it now? Straight away they expect sponsorships. They expect to do fuck all for sponsorships. You know what I mean? Because they think they won a fucking show. Listen, we had to be in the fucking top 4 British finalists
to get some protein.
To get a sponsorship. You know?
I remember the first time I got a free sponsorship. I got a ton of protein and some some creatine. I was like buzzing for that. Do you know what I mean? I didn't expect anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you do it because you love it, don't you? You don't expect.
We would have done it. We would have done it without any prize money or sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you did, so.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to go back to, because obviously I asked Zack this the other week. What did a day in the life look like when you were pursuing your biggest physique? That's
normal day. Get up. I'd be up early, do cardio. Even I keep the cardio in during the off season anyway. I do 3 or 4 sessions a week.
What cardio would you do, Daz?
To be honest, I kind of mix up. I'd either do some boxing, I'd do some running, do some sprints.
So it's like quite high intensity. It's quite high intensity cardio, is it?
I like to stay fairly fit. Do you know what I mean? I want to stay.
So it's not like slow walking on a treadmill.
No. Speed walking if you're going to walk. Yeah. But I preferred mixing up with the boxing as well, and that. Get your heart rate up, get doing something different, enjoy it a little bit. It gets boring. Just sitting on a bike or walking slow on a treadmill, it gets boring after a while. So I like to mix it up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, you need to be fit still. You still got to live your life. You know what I mean? It's okay being massive, but you still want to be able to live your life well. You don't want to walk up the stairs and be fucking gasping for air at the top of the stairs. You know what I mean? And when you get that bit, it's easy to get unfit and start doing that.
I'll tell you a little story. You know, obviously you know who Jordan Peters is.
Yeah.
Well, when I opened Ultimate Fitness 2003, Jordan joined my gym, and he used to live around the corner. I remember, I think it was the first couple of weeks we opened, and Jordan came in. I thought he'd been chased by gang of fucking muggers or something. He came in sweating, like jumped on the sofa. I goes, "You all right, Jordan?" He goes, "You're all right?" He goes, "Yeah." Just walked up the hill like. I thought he was going to fucking collapse. Honestly, he was weighing about 20 stone. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. And I thought, this guy's, he's only like young, 22, 23.
Do you remember when we were training, Simon? And he asked to join numbers that day? And he joined in and he did 1 set. And then I went, she'll go again. And he went, "What? Are we going to get a rest?" I said, "Mate, you can't train me today."
Nah, he was focused.
I can't wait around 3 or 4 minutes for a rest. I didn't like training that way. I like to keep it fast. You remember? We used to keep it fast.
Yeah, because we used to do like giant sets, didn't we? Quite a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to keep it fast. So
he used to walk around with a bottle of oil as well. Bottle of I think it was MCT or extra virgin olive oil. Just drinking oil as he was walking around in case he'd lose any size.
Fucking hell.
More size. Some people do some strange things. You know what I mean?
No, because we went to a restaurant and he poured out this bottle of olive oil. And he was just drinking this olive oil.
What, you being serious?
100%. No bullshit.
You get the shits. Then you go straight to the loo after that. It's a bit extreme now. I went into all that. I remember speaking to a few bodybuilders. I remember, Darren Cook.
Yeah, from from Leicester, little Daz.
I remember Darren. It's from love with Darren. I can remember him saying to me once that he wouldn't even go to the fucking park with his kids, so he, in case he lost a pound. And I remember him saying he used to weigh himself every day, and if he was overweight, he'd eat a fry up the next day. I was like, what the fuck is that all about? But some of these guys get it in their head. It's what the scales say. It's how much muscle you carry on there as well.
Mate, I used to know plenty of bodybuilders who wouldn't even have sex with the missus. Going, I don't want to
carb drink.
It's for workout.
I mean, what?
What's that? Say that again.
He said him squirting he's losing a shot of sauce because he's not gonna have sex.
Oh, the fucking! You get some numpties, don't you? You really do. I don't get all that. At the end of the day, you want to live your life. No matter if you want to be Mr. Olympia or what, you got to live your life, ain't you? You want to be the British champion, whatever you want to do, you still got to live your life as well.
The thing about it, Daz, is a lot of people they're so one-dimensional, and you know what? They pursue this career in bodybuilding, and they don't learn to have fun, and they don't enjoy the journey. And then when they don't get the results they want at the end of the sport, they end up being bitter and hateful towards it. And they're the type of people who will be pointing the finger at the drug side of the sport. This is not good. That's not good. It's unhealthy. Shit like that. Listen, everything in life there's there's dangers in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And you have to pick we're gonna die no matter what. So pick one way and fucking enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
simple.
100%.
It's like whether you're a racing car driver, whether you're a bodybuilder, whether you're a boxer, you could have one punch on your temple, you could be fucking gone. You could be driving a car 150 miles per hour around the corner and crash it, and you could be gone. And bodybuilding is no different.
Yeah.
But only thing about it is they emphasize the part of drugs only. You know what I mean? It's like
you get it in boxing, MMA, all of them. You just see with Conor Ben with using the fertility drug. Do you know what I mean? However you want to look at it. I watched Eddie Hearn the other day say he's not guilty. Well, he failed his fucking drug test. He's got to be guilty.
Exactly.
Did you see what come out 2 hours ago?
Say that again.
See what come out 2 hours ago?
No,
apparently he's failed 2 VADA tests and not 1.
Look, all I'm trying to say, boxing, whatever you want to do, if you fail a drug test, you still failed. And then you've got to prove yourself innocent. Do you understand what I mean? You're still guilty until you prove yourself innocent. But for me, with that, how's you going to prove yourself innocent on that?
Yeah. What is he doing taking that fertility drug? Basically, any person with true common sense who's in that sport will say to raise his natural testosterone. So which is going to be an unfair advantage anyway, isn't it? Simple.
Or he's done a course. He's come off and he's used that.
Yeah.
And that's all he's done. He's used that to pull his testosterone back to normal. Or he's got low semen count and he's using different things to try to get his sperm count up. Maybe he's going to come out with that excuse. You know what I mean?
Listen, mate. We're not stupid. Listen, boxing, MMA, everything's got drugs in it. Let's not be fucking naive to it. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, bodybuilding gets the bad rap because the people don't deny it. That's the difference.
And the problem is, and the thing is, they associate muscles with steroids. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's a visual sport, isn't it? You see, like obviously, sort of 20 they blame steroids.
Yeah. No one ever looked at strongmen, and strongmen's broadcast on fucking ITV thing. These guys weigh 200 kilos, for Christ's sake, lifting 500 kilo off the floor. You don't just go to fucking up the road in the park and see people doing that. Do you know what I mean?
You tell me they're not natural, Joe.
Well, I don't know, mate. I'm not sure.
No,
Daz,
but
let's just talk about, obviously, I know you had your few years off. You had your kidney transplant, so you were given like would you say like a second chance in life?
Second chance, yeah.
Yeah. So how does that feel like after you sort of had the new chance? Did you have a different perspective on life?
Totally, mate. Zack has just said something about all the sports, about how it can be your last moment any second. We don't listen. We're all blessed if we wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Everyone's blessed to start a new day. Yeah. No one knows when it's their final day. No one knows when it's going to happen. And having that has made me look at life different, made me enjoy my life. I've had a great time with the kids and the wife and stuff. So, yeah, I totally look at life and don't take nothing for granted. But at the same time, I've got to enjoy yourself. And while we're here, enjoy yourself. Don't worry about everything. Go out there.
Yeah, I ask you that because obviously 2 years ago, obviously I was in hospital, nearly died like a few times, like with COVID, and so like now I just think, you know what, we are all going to die soon, one day, not soon, but so you have some things. I don't let things bother me anymore. Little things. I think if something happens, if I owe people money, if I owe a bill, I just think, fuck it. What's the worst going to happen? Do you know what I mean? And people see me go on holiday doing this. We've got one life, and I don't look back when I'm on my deathbed thinking I should have done that, I should have went there. You do have different perspective on life, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. It totally changes the way you think. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I had gone from competing at the Arnold with Philly, Kai Green, and all them being there, to a few weeks later having a tube put down my leg so I can do dialysis out of my leg. Laying there thinking, what the fuck's going on? So yeah, it puts it in perspective. You got a second chance. I can do no, but thank God for that. And why I'm here, I'm going to enjoy it. We've done a few things for a few different charities, but I did one for a little girl called Olympia. She's still alive, but she's got childhood cancer, and it was brain cancer. And we sent her to Winter Wonderland down in London. But since then, it's come back. And it's come back again. And it's come back again. And now it's at the point where there's nothing much more you can do. And she's like 9 or 10 years old now. And you think to yourself, this kid's she's not going to see the next year or two. She's probably going to see one more Christmas. So, yeah, you know what? You've got to enjoy your time when you're here.
Puts things into perspective, don't we?
100%, at the end of the day, if anything happens to us now, I'm 43 nearly. I've had 43 years. When it's a 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 6-year-old, 5-year-old, they've not even had a life, have they? You know what I mean? So we have to, we're lucky to be here and get the chance to do extra, the things with our kids or
do what we love doing,
whatever we do. Just as well as that, the simple things like talking to people in your gym. We had COVID every year, and lads that were coming to gyms over the gyms. One of my friends, Mark Winks, he killed himself. In another couple of gyms since then, there's been 2 or 3 other lads that I know. There's been good 6-7 lads took the life of Ria. I've had 2 in my own gym that took their own life during the lockdown period and after the lockdown period because of what that did to them. So my biggest thing when I'm in the gym, I try to talk to everyone because, like I say, you don't know what others are going through. We don't know, and people can't be asked to take time of day to speak to that person in the gym who just comes in alone and does his thing. I talk to them now because it opens your eyes. You know what I mean? That you don't know what people are going through. Yeah,
everyone's got a story, haven't they? Everyone's got problems.
Listen, all people want to do when people are going through it is bitch about them, call them. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean? They don't want to support or nothing like that. It's always have a dig. When I was there, I fucking read loads of things that were says. Do you understand what I mean? People can say what they like, yeah? I know what went on. They think they know what went on. But no matter what it was, why do you want to call people? I nearly died. I was 20, they reckon I was about 21 hours from death. For me, I ain't that fucking person that would be calling someone that went through that because I don't see that as a fucking right thing. The man upstairs to me is not going to think, oh yeah, you're calling that guy that's dying. You think that's a good thing? No, personally, I don't think it's a good thing. And I know there was a lot of people say what they say, and I had it on the podcast about one of the gurus. I forgot what his name was. The Bash Bro says had said something, and I says, well, the guy's fucking speaking shit because he'd not even asked me, message me and ask me what went on, and I'll tell him what went on. He thinks something went on due to steroids, which it's like anything I say. If me or Zach or you, Simon, have a heart attack tonight, what's he going to be blamed on?
Yeah,
oh dear,
exactly.
If you have a fucking car crash, they'll blame it on the fucker. Hey, that's how it is. Do you know what I mean? And it's just because you're in that industry. So they make assumptions. I ain't going to make no assumptions. I would ask them. And, you know, if you want to talk to someone and ask somebody, ask them. I'm a big enough man to take it on the chin. Do you know what I mean? You know, look, it's like when people say to me, oh, you're coming back to do the bodybuilding again. You probably ain't going to win now. I'm not bothered. I've lost lots of show in the past. I love being on stage. I love doing it. People are going to beat me. I'm not bothered about that. I'm not scared to lose.
Listen, Daz,
to get up on stage and enjoy myself and let the kids enjoy it with her.
Yeah, the thing about it, Daz, is like this. I always say to people, I ain't gonna be that person what cares about what other people think.
Yeah.
Fuck other people.
Yeah,
and you know, and the biggest bitches in these sports are men. That's the problem we've got. And they hide behind their fucking Instagram. And you know what? If you're going to hide behind your Instagram and you ain't a fucking man, are you? No. If you're a man, you would go up to the person and look him in his eyes. And if you got something to ask him, you would fucking ask him and hear it from the fucking horse's mouth. You know? And that's what we've got. We've got too much fucking hearsay. And the message goes around everybody. You don't even know what's being said. And by the time it gets back to you, you're like, what the fuck has even been said? It's like Chinese whispers.
It's like fucking Chinese whispers. It is, eh?
And like I said to you, even if it was down to steroids, what does it fucking matter?
That's what I mean. What's it got to do with that? You do what you do.
Listen. The funniest thing about it is when we took gear, whatever. It was a choice I made, and it wasn't a choice I made overnight. It was a choice I made over years before I knew I want to take that step to the dark side. Yeah. And it's exactly the same. If somebody's smoking cigarettes, they've got the scientific facts on the fucking the tobaccos, you know, on the cigarette tubs, you know what I mean? And everywhere, the scientific facts about there's more stuff out there for cigarettes, what it causes than steroids. So even though
a lot more people, you know, cigarettes do with cancers. And
but somebody
steroids are going to kill, ain't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's funny, isn't it? If somebody dies from cancer from smoking cigarette, oh, poor guy. But if somebody dies from fucking taking steroids, oh, he deserves it. It was good on it. That's what happens. You see
stereotype. It's that stereotype. You've seen it with Cedric McMillan. People I've seen on the fucking YouTube, people slagging the guy. What the fuck's up with people?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? The guy's died. He's got, you know what I mean? Personally, I don't get that. But that's,
you know
I
the
guess
problem is as
people
well.
Get better following, is it? By talking shit about people that have gone through sync. Do you know what I mean? I guess that's how some of them are.
The problem is that none of these fuckers realize, his wife's still alive. His fucking kids are still alive. That's what I'm saying to you. Have some fucking respect. Look, we know what we're fucking taking and we know what damage it causes. But you know what? I'm here. I'm enjoying my fucking life. Yeah. So if there's somebody who's going out and getting pulled up every fucking weekend, nobody's saying shit to them.
That's what I'm saying to you. No, that's it. Getting stiffed up, whatever they're doing, no one says nothing. Do you understand what I mean?
And I always say to people, if you want to see who are the happiest people in this world, go to a fucking hospital, terminal illness ward, where kids have got cancer, and you'll see every one of them kids with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
And then you'll realize, you know what? My life isn't so fucking bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, because I couldn't win a show, or because I can't do this, or I can't do that. These kids are fucking smiling, and they're enjoying every fucking time they've got. You know what I mean? And then we're crying about something like, oh, I can't get meal number 6 in.
Stressing themselves to death because they can't get meal 6 in. That's what it's like, ain't it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's the problem. And that's what I mean. It's like, fucking, you know, you're enjoying time with your family now, everything like that, and you're showing your kids what's it now. Decide to, you're being a positive role model for them. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, when you go through all that, and like Simon, especially, he's gone through what he's going through. That comeback from it, that showing your kids when you're, you know, I had a dialysis line in my fucking neck here, I had to open my jugular and put it in and stuff like that. When you come back from all that, you know. it changes you as a person as well. It really does. And like you say, all I want to be is a positive role model for them, to show them no matter what goes on in their life, you've got to carry on. You've got to try to keep moving forward. There's no good stopping. There's no good feeling sorry for yourself, because that ain't going to get you nowhere. You've got to keep going and keep going and keep going until you get where you want to be again.
And Daz, do you think, like, obviously the bodybuilding mentality helped you sort of get back on your feet again?
When they put me in, I was in for 2 weeks to start off with. I live my life the same way. I like routine. You know, listen, if I'm in Nick, you'll be fine. I can live that life like that. If I'm fucking in the army, it's fine. I can live it like that with a routine. If I've got a routine, I like that. Do you understand what I mean? So when I was ill and I was in the hospital, I routine my morning up. I woke up at a certain time. I'd go and have a breakfast. I'd go. So
would you stay in hospital for the whole 2 weeks?
For the start off, I was there for 14 days.
Okay.
So I did 14 days in there. Then I came out and started having dialysis. Then they thought the kidney were going to restart, but it didn't restart. So then it was the process of then going for, finding a donor.
Was you like bedbound for 2 weeks? Was you able to walk around?
Yeah, because basically this line to start off with, they put it into my groin. So it ran down the groin in the main vein in the
artery in the leg. Was it painful?
Yeah, it is. Listen, this here in your neck here, they cut your jugular. They get a big tube with a point on the end, and they got to push it all the way down into your heart from your jugular. There's no anaesthetic that can do that, mate. They're just shoving it, and then they got a plunger thing, plunging it down. Yeah, that was. And when they did it, it was weird as fuck, yeah, because you're in an hospital, you think you get took in a nice room. They took me in like this fucking little room. Just this doctor and this. Well, he wasn't even a doctor. He did something else, but he could do this procedure. And a woman there, the nurse, started doing it, and then he went, "Just get in touch with so and so." He's got his hand on my neck. So just get in touch with so and so. She says because it's spurting. So he's cut the jugular and it's pissing of blood. So he's got that. So you're thinking, "Fuck me, this is it. I'm going to die here instead." And then he redone it and did it and got it in, but. When they were shoving that into my heart, I'll be honest, it felt like your lungs and everything were going to collapse. It was painful. But you know,
I couldn't imagine that.
Listen, we're men. There's kids go through this shit. Do you understand what I mean? So how I say I'm a man, you're going to deal with it. Do you understand what I mean? And like you say, you're still here, and that's the blessing. You know, you're still here. You know, there's many others that don't get that second chance. So whatever goes with it, you take.
I remember when I come out of the coma, and obviously it was through COVID time, and we weren't allowed any visitors, nothing, and sort of waking up. Was you in the coma, Daz? They put you under sleep?
No, I was awake. No. I was awake for my mate. He was awake.
Yeah, so obviously for 2 weeks, I stayed in the hospital for like 6 weeks in total, and sort of wasn't allowed any visitors at all because all the hospitals were closed off. And just sitting in your bed, like I was bedridden for like 6 weeks. So when I woke up, I lost 70 pounds in like 4 weeks, and I couldn't even walk. And I remember like it took me 4 or 5 weeks just to pull myself out of the hospital bed because I'd lost that much muscle in my legs and obviously my arms, so I couldn't even pull myself up. So I was going crazy in hospital. How did you cope? Sort of being sort of stuck in the hospital for that long. How did you cope?
Fucking, it's horrible in there, ain't it?
Isn't it?
Where I was in the. Where we were, we had like they got a special unit kidney ward at the General in Leicester. Don't get me wrong, the nurses and all the staff there was amazing, but you're in a little room. There's 4 beds, and to be honest, at the time it was just older men. There's a little telly up there. You're there for 14 days like that. Yeah, it was. And right, you say the surreal thing is, I felt all right as well. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you have this in your groin, you can't move. They put me on dialysis. The first dialysis they did about 16 hours, yeah. Wow. And I always remember because, you know, your legs are out, and the problem is they take water off when they're doing dialysis. And, you know, say that's my ankle like that. It actually cramped that bad. It kind of twisted round like that and was nearly facing the other way, mate. You'll see, I thought my ankle was going to break. And the doctor says, no, it can do. There's nothing it can do, he says.
So you're sort of lying in the bed for like 16 hours straight?
Yeah, to start off with, to clean out much toxin. They says to me, The amount of toxin that was in your body could have probably killed 3 humans. But because you had so much muscle, where the muscle helped me there, because that's why, you know, he says you had so much muscle, you live with it. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was lucky, you know, having that muscle did help with that bit there.
Yeah.
But like I say,
that's why I said to you, carry on, Daz, sorry.
When I went to the hospital that day, they were shocked I walked in there. They were shocked. They brought a fucking trolley to me. I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "You got to get in." I says, "Fucking hell, man, I'm walking in there. What's up with you?" Do you know what I mean? And honestly, how I'm saying that to you is how I said to them, because I thought there were no wrong. Because I've just got a phone call off the doctor after I did a blood test, sat down there, and then they've done some bloods and that. And I thought, fucking hell, it's like 1 a.m. I said, "Yeah, mate, when am I going?"
So did you have any like symptoms beforehand, Daz?
Tomorrow, he went, "Mr. Ball, you don't understand how poorly you are, do you?" I says, "Well, I don't understand." And he spoke to me and told me, and then that was it. You know, it was there.
Daz, did you have any symptoms prior to this?
So basically, this is how it all started, because they do a clip of your kid. You know, they do what's the fucking word? They take a clip of your kidney, so they're putting in
biopsy.
Biopsy, yes. So they did a biopsy. So that biopsy tells you everything, what went on. So they were saying to me, 8 weeks, my kidney was working at 88%, right? Which
so why did you go for that original biopsy?
No, the biopsy was after.
Oh, was it? Okay.
So they can look back from a biopsy, they can look back over the previous 8-12 weeks or something.
Oh, okay.
So the kidney was working at 88% 8 weeks ago. And then that's when it started going wrong. But at that time, I was getting acid reflux. So I went to see my doctor, and he thought I had a stomach ulcer. So they gave me a thing called lansoprazole, which is just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a bit like, you know, to stop the acid in your stomach.
Yeah. To neutralise.
All it does is stop you. So that's all it was for. So they gave me that. Anyway, when it all came out, I sat with a guy called Professor Doman from Lebanon, and Professor Nichols, who was the main guy, main kidney specialist in the UK. And lucky enough, he was working at Leicester. So he says, what happened is when you started this lansoprazole, unfortunately, and he got this book out, 1 in 1.9 million people suffer from allergic reaction and get a kidney infection. You was that one. This is if my partner was here, she would exactly say the same thing to you, what he said to us.
Oh, wow.
You was that one which weren't treated for 8 weeks, which caused an acute injury. Mine was an acute injury. So when they put me on dialysis, they thought by blasting me with dialysis for 6 weeks, it would restart the kidney up. But unfortunately, it had gone too far and it didn't restart. So I was unlucky because it could have restarted. But at the same time, I've been blessed. So, you know, and it changed me as a person, do you know, for the better. Do you know what I mean? It changed me for the better, I feel. So what did I say? You know, you have something bad happen to you and you become a better person for it. I feel I'm a better person now. Do you know what I mean? And you know, in all the sports you can do, I'd rather be a better person personally. You know what I mean?
In what way would you say you're a better person, Daz?
Like bodybuilding is very selfish. Let's get things straight. It's selfish.
Yeah.
And you are selfish. You have to be selfish if you want to be a champion. And yeah, I was selfish back then. Do you know what I mean? I look at my kids. I didn't give them enough time. Maybe I should have given them more time. I'd give them time, but I could have given them more. Now, even now, if I'm going to do a bodybuilding show next year, they're going to be done off the back of just going and doing it, staying in shape, doing the cardio, not worrying about the show. I'm still going to go and do the things that I would do with my kids, even if it's fucking prep week or not, where I wouldn't have done that before. Do you understand what I mean? So now it's just a hobby that I enjoy doing. But yeah, I make sure the children get put first. My wife gets put first. That's more important to me than winning a show.
It's more of a sort of balanced attitude.
A better balanced life, yeah. And as well as that, helping others. I try to help others all the time. Do you understand?
And I think people with more of a laid-back attitude, they grow better because there's people that put so much pressure, that there's too much stress in it. And I find when people sort of more relaxed about stuff, they enjoy the process better.
Yeah, definitely. For me now, it's not a chore bodybuilding. Eating food's not a chore. None of that's a chore. You know, like Zack will tell you, when you're eating that amount of food, and obviously you know, same time, it can become a chore when you start fucking overfeeding, fucking shoveling. You feel sick and you're still trying to shovel this fucking shit in your mouth because you want to grow. It ain't like that no more. It's now about having fun and just fucking going to shows and doing it and speaking to people and passing a bit of advice on and just enjoying myself, mate. You know, I love bodybuilding. I love competing, and I'm not going to let something stop me from doing it. No, like I say, it's not about winning or something. Yeah, you know, we all have that fucking competitive streak, and that's why we did bodybuilding, don't we? You know what I mean?
No,
so
but
I still want to win the shows when I come to them. But if I lose, it don't matter. Do you know, the main thing is my kids get up to shout me, the kids get up to support me, and then I go home with them, and that's the most important thing.
No, but you need something to keep you fucking that fire ignited up your arse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, because I run a kids football team. I've been running them since it was 7. So I run a kids football team in the 15 now. I've been running them for the last 8 years since I had. So when the transplant that happened, I've had a transplant 8 years now. I took over. My lad was 7. I took over his football team and my step-lad as well. So I've got my 2 lads playing with me, and I've been running them for the last 8 years, and I fucking love training them boys. But I have to tell them about how training is, and when I was playing football and when I was a bodybuilder, how you do things if you want to improve. Now I'm saying to them, listen, you young men, if you want to be footballers, you have to dedicate a bit of time. It's like anything. If you want to go and get well in maths, you're going to have to study. It's the same for football. You need to study your position. You need to study what you're doing. You need to do extra work. So you need that bit of fire to pass that on to others. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's good.
And you know, when you're that way and you're enthusiastic, people are listen, won't they? You know what I mean?
Quite infectious, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, you know, when you look back at your old photos, Daz, from say 2010, 2007, 2008, sort of, would you ever want to get back to that size again, or do you know?
No, I wouldn't even attempt that, man. I want to put a little bit more muscle on just to do the shows, because it's just what we do. What do you train for? Listen, everyone's a bodybuilder. If you train in the gym, you're a bodybuilder. Yeah. You know, it's what people forget. Bodybuilding, if you're looking to build bigger muscles, you're a bodybuilder in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still want to put muscle on. Do I want to get that big? No.
Do you train different now, or do you train the same as you did?
Yeah, I like to mix it up. I still train with a high intensity. I do
just
like
to
doing
keep it
giant
fun,
sets and that. It's harder to train heavy now. Do you know what I mean? It's not like obviously before, when you're eating all that food and you're taking bits and bobs, you can lift heavy weights. You know what I mean? And I was strong anyway. I like now, as I get a bit older, because I've got, you know, elbows and knees that thing, I like to slow the movement down a little bit. That's about it, and make sure I get a good contraction of the muscle.
Just still train quite fast pace.
Yeah, I like to keep the if I'm going to train, I don't like long rests. So one on, one off, or do you know what I mean? I like to keep that up if I can, just to get a sweat on as well. Do you know what I mean?
Do you train by yourself, Daz, or with a partner?
I train with a couple of lads at the gym. They're not bodybuilders, you know what I mean? Just a couple of lads at the gym. And I like, you know, help them. One of them might do a show next year. So I just try to inspire them. They're both improved. One's lost loads of weight. One's gained some muscle, what she wanted to do. They were paying these fucking local gurus in Leicester shit, you know, paying them money. And I just pulled them along with me and help them out. Do you know what I mean? And, yeah, you know, and I've had other lads that I've helped in Leicester that was paying bodybuilders I know, and some of the shit they was fucking doing to them, mate, was terrible. Listen, I ain't gonna name no names because I ain't one of them people. But if they were close to me, I'll be telling them bodybuilders, if I seen them at a show, what I think of them. Do you know what I mean? Because like Zack says, I'm not afraid to tell somebody what I think of them. That's how we are. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna bullshit over the internet or bitch about them on a web chat. But some of the shit they're telling young lads to do is fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Like, you know, when I see kids at a show, like I was at that FitX show with chemical warfare, and kids that 21 years old are on insulin and growth hormone. Like,
you know,
like, what the fuck are you doing?
But this is what I'm saying to you. You've got gurus giving them this shit, because a lot of them don't know what they're doing. So they've got fucking idiots giving them it.
I said to these kids, I go, listen, at your fucking age, you would just be fine on some fucking dino ball, mate. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Fucking hell. I go, if you're taking all this at 21, where the fuck are you going to go to in 10 years' time? What have you got to go to? If you're using everything now in your arsenal, what the fuck have you got to go to?
The new trend is now like 500 milligram of Primo, isn't it? And 500 milligram of Test.
Yeah. Oh, now.
As a cruise.
Yeah.
As a what?
As a cruise.
As
As
a
a bridge.
cruise.
Yeah, 5,000 milligrams as a cruise. That's honestly, that's from a men's physique.
This, you know.
Huh?
I don't know all that shit that goes on nowadays.
Honestly,
Is that what the
people
cruise?
cruising on 1,000 milligram a week.
Wow, 1,000 milligrams a week a cruise.
Yeah.
That's for a men's physique.
That's the
amateur
men's physique. I ain't a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Not bodybuilder, no. The men's
So
physique, they're the worst.
It just shows you they don't train how we trained.
No.
That's what it shows you to me. They don't train how we train. No disrespect. I've looked at some of the amateurs nowadays who are the super heavyweights and this and that. If Zack would have walked on like then against these guys now, what would it look like? It'd look like men's physique versus a fucking bodybuilder. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying to you. And they're taking all that shit and they can't even create a physique because they're obviously fucking putting too much in. I just still believe in the cup effect. You know, when if you get a glass of water and you get a cup and you half fill it, you're going to improve. Yeah, but if you overfill it and it spills over, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I always tell my people that, look, just think of a cup of water. The more you put in, by the end, it starts spilling over. It's too much.
Yeah.
Use a small amount. Listen, if your first course is one shot of test, one shot a week, and you do 12 weeks and you put on 8 pounds of muscle, what's your second course?
Yeah.
The same again. What do you need to do any more for?
Exactly.
You put 8 pounds of muscle on. You know what I mean? Well, that ain't all muscle, but you put 8 pounds on, you look better, your body's changed. These guys, like I say, diving in the deep end using fucking 21 inches.
Least then you know.
Where's he gonna end up?
Least then you know that you've taken that for 12 weeks and you've done a couple of cycles on that. Your body's used to that now. So then you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to add a bit of EQ in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it. Steady.
Yeah. And then you're like, let's see how I go with the EQ and test. And then you know exactly what's happening. You know, oh, you know what? I'm getting side effects now, but I wasn't getting them with test. You know what? Pull out the EQ. Simple. Let's try something else now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what you do. But when people are taking 5 different steroids and you're a junior, what the fuck do you think? You don't know what's going wrong.
Which one's working? What's working in his body? Do you know what I mean? He don't know. He don't know. He's just doing everything, and he don't know what works for him.
Exactly.
And there's no doubt about it. Yeah, the bodybuilders of today don't eat enough, do they?
Sorry,
they're not like bodybuilders. They don't eat enough food. They don't. You know, they don't.
You mean they probably don't get off season like people used to do they? Because they're always filming themselves on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. So they're always in reasonable shape, I suppose.
We didn't show our muscles off, pal. Did we? We didn't show our muscles off. You know, you cover up all year. You get to shows, and I'll be thinking, I ain't named fucking out Zack and Alvin. See, you can see me in this.
Yeah, but the thing about it now is, Daz, every day they're posing. How much are you going to change in one fucking day?
Updates. Yeah.
So for 12 weeks, they're posting fucking clips every day, and all of a sudden, on show day, they go quiet. You don't hear from them for 2 weeks, and you know why? Because they look like a bag of shit.
And to be honest, you see that with the pros now, don't you?
Yeah. More so, really.
I guess they have to do it now for sponsors and bullshit. But not being funny, if I was a pro, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't be doing it. I'd rather not be fucking sponsored if I have to keep putting that shit up, sharing everything. Do you know what I mean?
Especially every fucking day.
I always liked about Dorian, they wouldn't see him for a year and he'd come on stage. And that's what I used to go off. Stay hidden, then they're going to see me on the day. And that's how we did it then. But now all of a sudden, everyone has to show every fucking thing on social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I understand you got to do a certain amount, but fucking every day, how much is your physique?
That's what I mean.
Right? How much is you going to
morning, afternoon, night?
Yeah.
Updates.
Yeah.
After a shit.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the problem you've got.
Okay. Joe, have you got any questions for Daz?
Yeah. So obviously, food was a key factor in you pushing up to 20 stone.
Yeah, definitely. You have to eat, pal. Like I say, I don't believe these guys that are competing today, who are taking all this shit that they say they're taking, can be eating right.
It can't be. It can't be physically impossible.
If we go back, let's go back. Let's go back to Arnold and them. The guys had great physiques. They weren't using shitloads of gear, were they?
No.
They weren't using shit going. They weren't using all these supplements. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? They weren't using none of that, but they created great physiques. Hard work and eating food will create great physique. Let's get something straight. That's all you need to do. Work hard and eat. Eat enough. You have to eat enough. You know, I speak to people who go, oh, yeah, I eat loads. Okay, what you had for breakfast? 2 Weetabix and a protein shake. Fuck it now.
And a cup of tea.
That's your breakfast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's nothing, is it? Do you know what I mean? I eat more than that now. I get up in the morning, 150 grams of turkey mince, few eggs, toast, oatmeal, honey, peanut butter. That's my breakfast. I'm still eating more than these guys. You know what I mean?
How many meals do you have now, Daz?
So I went for a stage when I was doing All for Health. I was just doing keto, and I would just eat. I'd fast for 16 to 18 hours a day. But when I did the first show at Simon's place, I decided after I was going to go back and do a bodybuilding eating. So yeah, now I eat 5-6 times a day. Yeah, but like I said, I don't stress. I just eat 5 or 6 times a day, and it's like all the. You know what I don't get? Obviously, all these gurus, they macro count, don't they, and all this thing. Yeah. Now, when they're macro counting, they're counting every fucking thing. They're counting the protein that's in your bread, ain't you, and shit like that.
Yeah.
We never did that. We just counted. Right, we've had
chicken,
200 grams of chicken. There's 50 grams of protein, and we've had fucking 100 grams of rice, there's 70 grams of carbs. We weren't counting, well, the rice has got this much protein and that's got that much fat. You didn't do that shit. You just counted that.
No, because
that's what I'm saying to you. They're counting, well, bread's got fucking 2 grams of fat in and 14 or 20 grams of carbs in, and then it's got 10 grams of protein. We didn't do that. What protein's going to be good in that fucking bread? I can't see loads of muscle, can you?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think all this macro counting that they do now, yeah, great, you know, do what you're doing. Let's just break it down. Meat's meat.
Yeah.
You've got carbohydrate sources, which is your potatoes, your rice, your fucking oatmeal, and then you've got your fats. You know, you've got your olive oil, your peanut butter, whatever you want to use, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just count individually on them, especially you, Joe. If you're looking to gain muscle, just count the chicken. Right, I've had 500 grams, 25 grams of protein. My carbs, I've had these carbs. I'm not going to count the protein for it.
What was you going to say, Joe?
I'm just going to count.
No, I was going to say, I remember I was having a conversation with my mate, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he said to me, "What do you eat after the training?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll have 250 grams of chicken, 75 grams of rice, and maybe a bit of olive oil or banana or some peanut butter or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, I do 150 grams of peanut butter." I was like, "Why?
What?
Why would you do that?" And he's like, he's got 25 grams of protein in it.
Good luck.
I see everyone eating Cocoa Pops now, ain't it? Is that the new thing?
That's the thing now, mate. Rice Krispie bars.
No, that's cream of rice, isn't it? Cream of rice.
Rice. No one buys normal rice anymore.
What's happening?
Zach, have you tried cream of rice?
Have I tried it?
No, but any of you, either of you?
Oh no.
No, I don't think so. I have. No.
It's just, baby rice.
rice.
Yeah. So it's just a fad, basically.
Yeah, it's just baby rice. Baby rice for like a kid in the children's aisle.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's that. It's just ground rice, blended up rice. People boil it. They put it in a microwave. It's easy to digest. It's just fucking rice. It's exactly the same.
Do you know what I don't understand? This all started going back how many years? Bodybuilding. They ate food and the train with free weights. Yeah. I know there's great machines and that now. Zach's been to my gym. I like old school. Yeah, you know what? It's nice to go to a gym and have a go at some bits of equipment that they brought out. But you can still create with food and fucking old school weights. That's all you need. Do you know what I mean? And what makes me laugh is that is bodybuilding got better over the last how many years? Would you say it's got better? Would you say the pro game's got better? Not. The 90s bodybuilders, when you had Kevin Lerona, Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman coming back on the scene, and these guys, that's the best era. The 90s were the best era for me.
Yeah.
And when you look at us, Zach, when we was competing as amateurs, that era was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Look, let's go down the divisions. Dean Lesnick. What was Dean like? What a great physique Dean's got as well.
Yeah.
Well, he should have been a pro a few times, didn't he?
That's what I'm saying, Joe. You had Araldus, who was either the lower weight or coming up. You've Tony Bailey, another great physique. You've got all these guys that had crazy physiques. Do you know what I mean? And then now, who are the top names now that people talk about?
There's a few. I don't know if you follow the amateur scene now. But
Who are then? Who are the ones? Who are the ones up and coming now?
to me, I'd say the best two amateurs in the UK are Greg Taylor from Scotland, Andy Scott from Scotland, obviously Dan McNabb as well. Who else?
What categories?
Super heavies, all of them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, these guys wouldn't have placed. They wouldn't have placed in the British Championships.
No, that was your.
These guys.
There were three of your top five at the Arnold UK last year amateur show.
Super heavy the Arnold UK, was it just what? Where were they from? Everywhere or just?
Yeah. Open show. No, everybody, because the guy who won the pro card was he was a heavyweight because he beat Matt Tofton. He was a light heavyweight and then didn't place in the pro show afterwards.
Do you know, like when you had the Arnold Classic going back over the years, and you had Sean Taverniger there and all them, didn't you?
Yeah. Ricardo.
No one only placed in that one, did they? Do you remember? Simon? That like you say, that era then, there was so many good fucking bodybuilders then. Do you understand what I mean? And even then, when you got good bodybuilders, I remember going and doing the Euro Elite shows, 2008. I did loads of Euro Elite shows. And I was competing against him, that Robert from Poland, Robert Portakowski, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd been winning the world title. And I competed against, what was his name? A Lithuanian guy. And these guys were crazy physiques, mate. And some of them was easy, could have easily got the pro cards earlier, but they were just clearing it up in them Euro Elite shows and making money. You know what I mean, Zach?
Yeah.
They was staying as amateurs and clearing up, winning the world titles.
You know what? Them Euro Elite shows were fucking next level, man.
Oh, mate, there was some. Listen, I did that year. I think I did about 7 or 8. I did all right. I got about 14,000 euros from them shows that year. But competing against them guys open your eyes to the level it was.
Was it amateur? Was it amateur?
Yeah. So you go and compete. I competed against him that Lucas Odyssey. Is it Odyssey?
Lucas Odyssey.
Yeah. He was competing. Like I say, that Robert, he cleared it all up in them. In Poland, he was
a lump, wasn't he?
He made all his money just from winning all them Euro Elite shows. Do you know what I mean? They were paying better then than the fucking pro shows are now.
Yeah.
That's what makes you laugh. They were paying better then.
Is that the same sort of thing? Dennis Wolf won 2006 with the World Championships.
Yeah, he won the World Championships in 2006. But I went in these Euro Elite in 2008. So it's just anyone can do them. I don't know if they do that shit now anymore, but you got to compete against the best in Europe and see what they were like. Do you know what I mean? And Roman Fritz, he was competing, and people like that. And they're all pros now. That's the level it was at. It's like the 212, the 212, ain't it? Kamala.
Yeah, Kamal. Yeah, he won shitloads with that.
Remember how many times he won things for Lebanon?
52 years old now. Look at him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. He didn't turn pro. He just kept winning all the amateurs.
Yeah. He did a podcast with Fuad about 6 months ago, and he was talking about how, obviously, because he is Lebanese, or he's from Qatar, one of them, and he represented whoever it was, because they paid him, they supplied, they did everything for him, they treated him like a professional athlete, and so he was doing that for fucking 20 years before he even started.
He was making a living from that.
Sami Al-Hada, he was over him, wasn't it? Remember Sami Al-Hada?
You look at the standard of them bodybuilders back then that you could compete against.
That's what I mean. Them days, they weren't in no rush to get their pro cards.
No,
because they were making good money as amateurs. But nowadays, everybody just wants to become a pro for the sake of becoming a pro, and then
just to have IFBB Pro on their Instagram handle. That's right, isn't it?
That's what they want, don't they? Yeah, exactly.
Like you say, they're like lucky bags now. Anyone gets some card in here. How many do these two bros? How many pro cards do they give out every show?
Enough.
Yeah. Do they throw them out in the audience? Pro card.
But I guess it's clever by the IFBB, because each one of them will pay their $250 a year membership, won't they? £250 a year membership. So imagine how many pros there are on the scene at the minute. all paying 250. Do you know what I mean? And so yeah, they'll be collecting a lot of fucking money back in as well. And I reckon that's probably why they brought these two bros and emptied the amateur stage. Do you know what I mean? Because the top amateurs are gone now, ain't they? You know what I mean? They've emptied the amateur stage. You know, and everyone wants to go there, but then there's no amateurs no more. So,
but, you know, with these pros, these guys that turn pros too quick, where do they go? I mean,
they're not ready to be professionals, are they? No. Which is why I think Nick Walker did so well, because he had a professional physique as an amateur, and then turned pro, and then caused a splash straight away. You know, the same as Dean White did. You know, professional physique as an amateur. You know, because he's been on the fucking scene for ages. You know.
Yeah, but Dean White was an amateur for a while, wasn't he? So,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But he got physique at that level. And then he turned pro when he was more than ready. Whereas some people are turning pro.
I always tell people, listen, don't be in a rush to turn pro. Do as many amateur shows as you can. Build up the experience, learn about your body, and then when you're ready, boom.
Make like these new pros, they've probably only done 3 or 4 shows. And probably got the pro card after 3 shows because there was a shit lineup.
But you know, nowadays, Simon, it's not about them doing many pro shows. It's about them becoming a pro, and that's what they want. You know what I mean? That's what they want. That's what I'm saying, guys. It's like nowadays, they just want to become a pro, have that name under their belt so they can become a pro. And that's what it's for.
It's for the status, ain't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I say, we went and competed against, like I say, I went and travelled and competed against all them European guys, and Zack did the same because you wanted to experience yourself against the best guys. You know what I mean?
Mate, when you stood against
yourself ready for going on there as a pro.
Mate, when you stood against them guys, you realised then how much you had to work harder.
Yeah, the standard was amazing. You know what I mean? The standard was amazing. Yeah. It really was. And, you know, and it's like you say, it made it, like I say, having one pro card made it more competitive. Do you know what I mean? Instead of giving all these players more competitive to the standards.
It brought out the best in every competitor, didn't it? Don't you think it brought out the best in every competitor every year? You know, Nottingham British Championships.
Everyone, and like you say, then it made it, you know, everyone wanted to get to the UKBF back then to win a pro card. So you get everyone come in there, you know, and come over, didn't he, from NABA and things like that. Ricardo, look at the people you're talking about. You're talking about lots of great bodybuilding. You look at it now, James Holliday and all them were competing back when we were. They were only young then, do you know what I mean? Coming through, Nathan Asher, all of them. So, and now these guys are going on the pro stage and winning because they took them years to get there. So they've developed the physique over them years. And you know,
but they were the last of the British champions, weren't they?
That's what I'm saying. That's the last of it. And what's it going to be like now in the future? You know what I mean?
I think one thing we'd like to close off on. Who do you think the best in Britain is at the minute? Daz?
The best what? Bodybuilder?
Yeah.
Who would I say the best is in Britain at the minute? I don't think they'll beat Samson either. I think he's the man for the British scene.
Do you think Samson will beat James Hollingsworth?
Yeah, I think Samson beats James.
Me too.
Personally, I think he's got a better physique than James. You know, I think James got a great physique, but I think Samson's just gone to the next level. Do you understand now? And I do see him. I see him breaking the top 6 easier this year. I think he'll break the top 6.
Finally, somebody agrees with me.
Yeah, I do. I think Samson will break the top 6. Like I say, I think the improvements he's made. He's a very good poser anyway. He presents himself very well.
We'll have to do. We'll do Olympia predictions in a few weeks. We'll get us all the footballers back on, and if you're for that, Daz, we'll do Olympia predictions.
Listen, my man from Leicester, Mark Hector, he's got next couple of years. If he does things right, he's a man as well that will be there all day knocking the door. I think, you know, I know he's going to Europe now to do it. I think he should have called a day was a day. I don't think he don't need to make the Olympia this year. You know what I mean? He's going to go to Europe and try again to make it, and I hope he does. But you don't need to. I think another year now, if he'd have gone into his off-season, carried on adding in the right areas where he needs to add.
I think, you know what, Daz? The mistake he made this year was playing the size game when his physique doesn't need that much size.
No, he don't.
He just needs to chip away.
He was too smooth for the Arnold.
Yeah.
And he got better after that.
He looked better with France today.
It's a bit like, you know, Roller. Can you remember Roller?
Yeah.
I felt Roller's physique was better when he didn't put all that size on. I remember when he was grandma and seeing him then.
Yeah, better detail than he.
Yeah, and he got too big.
Yeah.
You know, Mark don't need to go down that way. He's got he poses really well. And agree with Zack. I do agree on that. Don't chase too much size. You know, add where you need to add. You don't need to lead. You don't have to put loads of weight on to add in the right areas, do we? Do you know what I mean?
No.
Just add in certain areas and come in shredded. Come in shredded. You know, when I looked at him at the Arnold, I was gutted for him because when he turned around and hit a back shot,
soft, wasn't he?
He was soft.
The thing about it is, he said he put on 25 pounds for that show. Nope. Then for the next show, he said he lost 12 pounds for the next show. Yeah. And he looked a lot better.
And then he went to
the show after that, he lost some more weight. So really,
he's only put on about £10.
Yeah.
So the question about it is, did you? What's it now? You're damaging your body, force feeding it that much off season and doing all that shit. You know what I'm saying? With his type of physique, he just needs to put in about 4 pounds in the right areas, and you know what? Yeah. It'll look like a fucking vast difference as long as he comes in tight.
You look at Sean Roden. Sean Roden, nice physique like that. He didn't have to play the size game. Don't play the size game. Play what you got. He's got that nice aesthetic physique.
Exactly.
And by putting that extra size on it didn't suit him at the Arnold, I don't think. And if he goes off season, I know he works with that. Is it Callum?
Yeah.
Body or team. I know he works with him. I think if they chase the size game, he'll go down the wrong end. He won't. That won't make him a better bodybuilder. He needs to go for coming in rock hard, and like you say, agree with Zack. Bit of muscle in the right areas, and that physique is going to take some beating. Do you know what I mean? It's going to take some beating.
Like same with Samson. He doesn't need to play the stupid size game off season either. You know what I'm saying?
He's got fucking massive this year, though. You've seen.
I think Samson holds the weight better than
he. The changes are fucking incredible changes. You know.
Yeah.
Well, a lot on his hamstrings.
Yeah.
And, you know, now when he hits the back shot, he's more complete. Samson will make top 6 for me. That's what I think.
He's got impressive physique, man. Impressive.
He has impressed me. And you know what I like? The man can pose. The man can pose.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. He can pose. He's very.
I remember
himself so well, and he still has. I think by the time he was on stage, he'll still be aesthetically pleasing as well. You know? All that wasting, and he'll look good. Do you know what I mean? So
the thing is, he's a tall guy as well. He's tall, so you know what I mean. He's got a lot of stage presence.
I'll be honest. I felt sorry for him this year. You know, Jamie Johan.
Yeah.
Because I feel that, especially at the Arnold,
me and Si agree with that. He should have been like Mark's a Leicester lad. I'm going to support Mark all the way. Do you understand? But Jamie should probably pinch him in the Arnold, definitely, because of his condition was fucking.
Yeah, we had Mark. We had sort of Jamie above Mark, didn't we?
Yeah.
I thought he was probably unlucky. You know, he's so tall. He has to carry that more mass, don't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah. How much more can he put on?
That's the problem. You know, what is he?
100 pounds.
Yeah, 6'6". I think he's calling it a day now. Anyway, I think he's retiring.
Is he retiring?
From what it seems like he's posting on his YouTube, you know, he's either taking a long break, focusing on his family, or he's calling it a day. So
I can understand.
Obviously, for him to get bigger and bigger, he's going to have to.
That's what he said in his video. He broke down. He broke down crying on his video, saying, For me to be what the judges want me to be, I'll be 400 pounds, but I won't make it because I'll be 6 foot fucking under. So
it's true. Fair play to the guy. But yeah, you know, like I say, you said about James. I still think James got a great physique. Again, he'll be repping UK. I just don't think out of the UK he'll be the top boy this year. I think it'll go to Samson now. I think Samson's just improved that a little bit more, and he'll take that. And then I feel sorry for him in the 212, Rob Taylor, man.
Yeah.
He's gutted because I like following Rob, and I think Rob's a good guy. You know what I mean? And he don't fuck around. He speaks the truth, don't he? He's like fucking Zack from up that way. They speak the truth up there, don't they? The same as the ears them boys do. And you know, I like Rob for that, and proper felt gutted for him because that was all he wanted to do, stand on that Olympia stage, didn't he? And then that was him done. Do you know what I mean? And you know how he says, you know, he gets to write the final chapter and it's kind of been taken away from him. So yeah, that's proper good for him. And I like his physique as well. And another guy that was on the scene for how many years on the British scene and getting better each year. You know what I mean? He just didn't go straight in and get a pro card straight away like that, did he? Did he?
No.
A few times, didn't he? He did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and got.
You never know. Might be a blessing in disguise. You never know.
Say that again.
You never know. Might be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Sometimes it is, ain't it? Do you know what I mean? It would just be nice for him to step on that Olympia stage and then walk away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. It's been an hour and a half now, but we'd love Daz.
Me and Zack will sit here and talk all night. That's the problem, right?
It'd be great to have you back on. If you,
Daz, have to do part 2.
Yeah, are you on
definitely,
Instagram? So if people want to follow you. You know
on Instagram still, mate.
Well, I'll put all your Instagram handles in the below.
Hey, listen, we'll have to get a catch up as well, Zach. Yeah, training.
Let's have a training session for you.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get a training session and have something to eat in that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, it's my birthday next month.
Is it?
Big 5-0.
Birthday.
Big 5-0.
You 50?
Yeah, I will be. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
so I'm having a big bash next month in Birmingham. So you're all invited.
We'll get a training session before then and go out for that.
Yeah, definitely, Daz. Definitely.
It's good to catch up, bro. It's been a long
good
time.
To see you, man.
Definitely.
Looking well. Keep it up.
Yeah, nice one. Thank you.
Guys, thanks for joining us. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks again.
Okay, see you soon. See you later, guys.
See you later. Bye.
Cheers.